Agora se te das uma para Joshua e Caleb, Josué e Caleb. Our message bushol Joshua and Caleb, men that decided to follow God fully. O primeiro ponto que si tu candalingotraio si ando libro de Números, the book of Numbers, chapter 13, verse 1, 2 and 3. Penele Bible, the Lord said to Moses, send some men to explore the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the Israelites. From each ancestral tribe send one of its leaders. So at the Lord's command, Moses sent them out from the desert of Paran. All of them were leaders of the Israelites. So they sent the best of the best. De sudui manus, yeka nasako vita, nasako tribe. Tejana itespin, epu kaidel yodel. O journey, liale tejan, itespin epu, itambolden palpale, liale starvardes ges. And so they do that. Ando números de sutrin, verso vista y soa, vista y ya, ambolden palpale after 40 days of spying out the land, they return. I then vengo report the leaders, kao Moses, kao Aaron, ay kasay kumpanya kesas kidini. We went into the land to which you sent us, and it does flow with milk and honey. But, verse 28, but the people who live there are powerful. We even saw descendants of Anak there, which were giants. But kon si andakala de suduile kay penenka sabor reporte. Numa des andal de sudui pende, baro Joshua ayo Caleb chian dineka sabor reporte le manusen. Verso 30 o Caleb querelek decisión kay sebnosardia les kotrayo de katargotokes. He made a choice. He made a decision to speak up. Penelo verso 30. Then Caleb silenced the people before Moses and said, we should go up and take possession of the land, for we can certainly do it. Duitrin milivoya, ziduria. I vo yek jeno, ayo Joshua lesko, vortako, a Moses, a Aaron, a Vapure, but vas del pescoglasso cadoterno. Allá hay decisión godogues, o Caleb, penenas o penena le maibut, me paquiaon de sopendiamen yodel, que si te tela me godiapu. In the Bible, that night all the members of the community raised their voices and wept aloud. Trubusas temerasando Egypt. Verso star, Numbers chapter 14, verse 4. And they said to each other, Pendeye cabresque, avena los arasa mengeyek leader, I am boldas palpalando Egypt. I penenga do, ka Moses, au Aaron, le leaders ka todialen yodil. I vonen I penela vena los amenge caber leader, tangerela me palpale ando Egipto. Ain't that something? Manus kai dikle putiaria le deuleski. Kai dikle oval le deulesko. So declare. Well, how about the 10 plagues in Egypt? Declares al puterdiao dele maria lolian glalende. Ares lego chan de pusta manglete jana o del dele manjoanda ocheri mana. Trusale samdevla. Ja Moses de dapan de godo baje sitan klel pai. Chetatimos devla de godo desierto dialo dele nube, a cloud. Cheshila minge deriate devla dialo dele pilar de fuego, a pillar of fire. Numa. Are liebre amia. Que desgene. Pendelenge. Si uni manus de sa pared de sa zurale ande godola ande godo foro ka del mangelte dela me najas ai savo remule darata. Ci sono amega dia univa? Samaro traio diclamo vadle devlesco, one way or another. Savore diclam kai data e putiaria le devleski. No malnivara velexinovo problem. I nekezila me bistra sa sokerdia odel. But Joshua, I Caleb lineg decision. I go dos your message. We will follow God, even if all rebel. But yapeku duma sai kumpanya telem bach ay te shudin andelende te mudarelle. How about that? Kukulades mudarde savoren daratar. They're rebelling against God. Chipakiano muile devlesko kadala duit vazden pengo glasos umavente ajutinle narodos te ton pengo pakiamos palpale le andodel ailen bach te shudin andelende te mundarelle. But antunchi, God had enough. Zikai jal pesagodo. Penele Bible que Gloria le devleski appeared in the tent of meeting. And the Exerutza Kayodela los Ardiasas, te del Andre Cocheo Moses, I voco del Dumalesa, suddenly Dikuli Gaza. It's shining bright. The glory of God came in the camp. I sabo gashile muto. I odele le penelka Moses, Jikana, Gadonarodo, Chikampakyal Pandemande. In spite of all the signs I have performed among them, I will strike them down with a plague and destroy them. Pendiaka Moses. But Moses, Hogil Pekaudel, I peneles que devla na kergadia. Sokam penelo narodo. Vona sundesar tuan kaladianle andao Egypt. I campenen que tu te nas ezor. The Lord replied, I have forgiven them as you asked. Moses, Kadyasar Manglian Manda, Meyer Tiuli, Numa, nevertheless, as surely as I live, and as surely as the glory of the Lord fills the whole earth, not one of those who saw my glory and the signs I performed in Egypt and in the wilderness, but who disobeyed me and tested me 10 times, not one of them will ever see the land I promised on oath to their ancestors. No one who has treated me with contempt will ever see it. And that happened. 40 years, Bezle and the Godot desert, one by one, Angroposartele and the Godia Pusta, au del Cimeclealite den Andre, and the Tierra Prometida. There was something very beautiful, Nakel, in the middle of this very, very, very serious judgment. Mascaral kako juicio caitelo del. Verse 24, I love this. Odel penelo anao kataro Caleb. Check this out. In the midst of all this judgment and crise, esa seriousness que jalpe, penelo del, but because my servant Caleb has a different spirit and follows me wholeheartedly, I will bring him into the land he went to, and his descendants will inherit it. O Joshua, numasas, telekai plain, avrian da itzeruza, zikayodel del Duma, with Moses. But he remained faithful. And Joshua chapter 1, verse 1 and 2. Penel, after the death of Moses, the servant of the Lord said to Joshua, Moses, my servant, is dead. Now then, you and all these people get ready to cross the Jordan River into the land I am about to give to them, to the Israelites. No one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life. Kadyasarsimas kono Moisés, ekfialavavatusa sohachimikawa tu peneleskodel, ando verso 5. And God spoke to him for 110 years. Excelai des vers traisardia o Josué. Excelai des verso del dia dumales. So sosas godolas tarvardes. No big deal, he was talking to Moses. But until I was 110, he spoke to me. Joshua chapter 14, verse 6 and on, and we end. Now the people of Judah approached Joshua at Gilgal. Ekdata ke avandepule, they defeated Jericho, do bisavde Jericho. Avandepule ke dialeodel, ke shinadialenge, o Caleb avelka pescofreno, o Joshua. I peneles ke, you know what the Lord said to Moses, the man of God, at Kadesh Barnea, about you and me. Joshua nabistre, so pendiao del patute, ai pamande, antunci de starvar deste panch bers palpare. I was 40 years old when Moses, the servant of the Lord, sent me from Kadesh Barnea to explore the land. And I brought him back a report according to my convictions, Penelo Caleb. But my fellow Israelites who went out with me made the hearts of the people melt in fear. I, however, followed the Lord my God wholeheartedly. So on that day Moses swore to me, the land on which your feet have walked will be your inheritance and that of your children forever, because you have followed the Lord my God wholeheartedly. Now then, Penelo Caleb, just as the Lord promised, he has kept me alive for 45 years since the time he said this to Moses, while Israel moved about in the wilderness. So here I am today, 85 years old, Penelo Caleb. I am still as strong today as the day Moses sent me out. I am just as vigorous to go out to battle now as I was then. Now give me this hill country that the Lord promised me that day. You yourselves heard then that the Anakites were there, and their cities were large and fortified. But the Lord helping me, I will drive them out just as he said. Then Joshua blessed Caleb, son of Jephunneh, and gave him Hebron as his inheritance. So Hebron has belonged to Caleb, son of Jephunneh the Kenizzite, ever since, because he followed the Lord, the God of Israel, wholeheartedly. You never know when you're faced con yek decisión. Andi que traio nivar chijanau cheke savela, cheper savela, sayavela ges, sayavela tegara. Saya la valian yek decisión de uniges palpale, de bers palpale, but the decisions ando traio anen consequences. Yek decisión kailine dui angerdiale ando sunchomole de ulesco. Yek decisión kailine le maibut lenge coca le ashile kotse suke and the pustia. One decision. I wonder if there's decisions anglamende akana. I wonder de gadone vo per stalo de la vilamente pendiamen gevares. Telazik decisión, telazik decision. Prala peo aven lase decision que si drago le devles. Macaravela trugno, sarsad lenge trugno. Na susoro. But it pays off at the end. E recompensa vel. O del chipistrel pescosuato e soshinavel cagodolaca e lempe para leste anda sapenguilo. Starvar desbens halekino. Numa o del sun sosardiale. Ai sun sosardiale che shaven ai sale givizza. A me penautu que ages te alosarasa te lasame panodel. Sailesa, Saro Josué o Caleb, via me di casa, o vade de blesco ande amaro traio, o pravarimole de blesco ande amaro traio, o sunzomole de blesco ande amaro traio, e putiaria esorte já sangleca na tus mano a mil petute, canasa per el cruglo tuta lo delanquerela tu ande pugende, ai che glate, ai che nepozzi, ai che duito e trito nepozzi, avena sunzomeca tarodel. Telesa e decisión. To follow God with all your heart.